Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 11 start and sit video for the tight end position. If you guys haven't already, check out our other start and sit videos for Week 11. And of course, you have questions for your lineups, hit us up in the comments down below. Now, there are 4 teams on a bye. You've got the Colts, Patriots, Falcons, and Saints. So as far as tight ends go, nothing super crazy, right? Like, you've got a few tight ends that are going to be missing, but for the most part, most top tier tight ends are playing this week. So again, make sure you guys, if you do have questions, hit us up in the comments. Now, these are your obvious tight end that should be playing. Like, there's just no question asked. I mean, this is the play here. Again, just in your lineups. Now, the first tight end I'm going to recommend is going to be Trey McBride versus the Texans. Now, McBride has simply just been being fed opportunities. Like, he's getting a lot of targets his way, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Cardinals don't have a lot of weapons, right? You've got McBride, Marquise Brown. I mean, Rondale Moore, possibly. I think with Kyler Murray back, Rondale Moore's value starts to increase a little bit, but McBride's definitely been heavily targeted. And just this past game, he had 8 receptions, 131 yards. So again, he was targeted even with Kyler Murray coming back. With Kyler Murray only going to get better with the season going on. I know there's not much of the season, but there's still plenty of season. Trey McBride's got a great opportunity to be possibly tight end 1 the rest of the season. I like him in this week because, again, Texans are allowing 11 points a game to the tight end and 63 yards in the air. This is a great opportunity for McBride to have a tight end 1 performance, especially since Hollywood Brown has been dealing with an injury. He's missed some practice time. Who knows if he ends up playing? I know he's more game time decision. So with Hollywood's not there, you got Rondale Moore is going to get fed some targets. And then, of course, McBride, he's got a great opportunity. Another tight end I like is going to be Dalton Kincaid versus the Jets. Now, Jets are a tough defense. Don't get me wrong. They're a team that is only allowing 9 points to, the tight end position. But they did have some stretches where they were allowing 12.4 points at one point. So the defense can allow tight ends to have some success. Now, with that said, Jets defense, again, very solid. This is going to be a game that the Bills have to absolutely win to have any playoff chances. So I do expect them to be a little bit better. Sauce Gardner is obviously going to keep Stephon Diggs pretty busy, which means there's going to be some less opportunities his way, unless they force feed him because of the whole debacle with, Trayvon and all that other stuff. But that's a whole nother issue. With that said, though, Dalton Kincaid should get plenty of targets his way. And realistically, he's been tight end 8 or better in the last 4 games that he's really been starting, and he's averaging 16 points a game. So again, I like Kincaid a lot. He should be in your lineup. Now, another tight end I like this week is going to be Luke Musgrave versus the Chargers. Now, I get it. Luke is not a tight end most people are either owning in their rosters or even playing. So I get the, where he's probably not going to be in most lineups. But for those in deep leagues or are trusting the process that Luke's going to get some value, it's a really good matchup. Chargers have not been a team that have been great against the tight end. They're allowing 12.4 points. They're allowing 68 yards a game. So the matchup is really good. This is going to be where Musgrave has to really kind of shine. I know there's obviously receivers like Watson still there, Dobbs, right? You got Aaron Jones. Love has been okay, but they're going to be forced to probably play catch up. I think the Chargers are going to be up enough where, again, continually passing. So I think obviously Dobbs, Watson have some value here. I'm not completely putting him in my lineups unless there's a deep league, but I like Luke Musgrave because the opportunity is there. Chargers are not great at stopping the tight end. Luke has been averaging 11 points the last 2 games. So he's got, I think, similar success. I think he's going to be in that 11 to 12 point range. If you can get those double digits out of your tight end, that's a win for everybody. Now, a tight end I'm going to sit this week is going to be Logan Thomas versus the Giants. I get it. Like, the Giants are obviously a team that's not great, but defensively, they've only been allowing 8.2 points to the tight end position. Now, Howell, obviously a great quarterback at this point in fantasy. He's been amazing. He's leading the league in yards. So pass heavy, but a lot of that I think is going to be really towards McLaurin, maybe Curtis Samuel if he's playing, Dotson, right? Like, Brian Robinson has been playing really well, and Antonio Gibson most likely will be missing, so he's got some opportunities. Could Logan have a decent game? Maybe. I'm expecting more like a 6 to 8 point range game for him. I don't like this matchup for him. I think the Giants do a really good job, again, stopping tight ends. I think more of it's going to be for the receivers to have some success, and I really love this matchup for Brian Robinson. Now, another tight end I'm going to be sitting is David Njoku versus the Steelers. Now, the first game Njoku did play against the Steelers, he only put up 8 points. He had 4 receptions, 48 yards or something like that. So, again, okay, 8 points, nothing amazing. Steelers are a team that about average, right? They're not the best. They're not the worst. But my biggest concern is the rookie Dorian at quarterback. Just like I mentioned with Amari Cooper, if you watch the other starting sit video, I do worry about this matchup. I think the Steelers pass rush is too good for Dorian to have any time to really set his feet, really any time to read the defense. And he's going to have some turnover issues that could possibly happen in this game. And Njoku, I feel really nervous with him starting. Now, of course, I'm going to say that, and Njoku's going to have like a 10-target game because he's going to get force-fed, but I would rather sit him and put somebody else in there if I can. Now, the last tight end I'm going to say is going to be Dalton Schultz versus the Cardinals. This is a really tough matchup for Dalton. So the Cardinals are only allowing 8 points to tight ends, right? On top of that, Schultz has been dealing with a hamstring issue. He's been missing some time this week in practice, or it's very limited. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with a hamstring injury and you're dealing with those soft tissues, like that's something that can always reoccur. Like you have a good 20% chance or 30% chance of reoccurring during the game, causing him to miss some time. I'm hoping he stays healthy because he has had some value. He's been really good as of late, but the matchup is pretty tough. I do expect, obviously, Nico and Tank Dell, because Nico is playing, to have a pretty good and successful game. We don't know what's going on with Noah Brown. I know he's dealing with an injury as well, so there's a chance he misses some time. But Dalton Schultz, if you have other options, I would look to put some other tight ends in there because, again, I worry about the matchup where the Cardinals have, again, been pretty good, and I do worry about that hamstring. I don't want that to be something that either limits him and he's not playing a lot, or he does re-injure it. Now, my sleeper, Evan Ingram. This was going to be more, again, of a gut feeling. Titans have actually been pretty good against the tight end. Actually, one of the better teams in the league against the tight end, only allowing 5.7 points a game. So the matchup is really tough. It's not something you would normally be like, man, I got to put Evan Ingram in there. But with that said, Evan Ingram has been averaging 8 targets a game. And there's some games he's getting 10 targets, some games he's getting 7. But on average for the season, he's getting 8 targets a game, and really only behind Christian Kirk. This is a matchup where, again, just because of him being force-fed the opportunities to have some chances, that is why I like Evan Ingram this week as a nice little sleeper. The reason it's a sleeper because the matchup isn't great. Titans have been really good against the tight end. They have yet to allow a touchdown to score. A tight end to score a touchdown. So this is, again, matchup's tough, but because of the opportunities, I like Evan Ingram as my sleeper. So those are my start, sits, and sleepers for week 11. If you guys do have questions for your lineup, hit us in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out our other start and sit videos while you are at it. And of course, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button while you're at it, and I'll check you guys out next time.